Hello and welcome to the All Killer No Filler podcast. My name is Kyle Guilfoyle in place for Eric Dick. We have a stacked crew today with Pilot House co-founder Kyle Hitchcock, as well as senior media buyers Taylor Kane, Grayson Rudsky, and head of Amazon Robert Russell. How are you guys doing today?
Very good, Kyle. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, doing great.
Awesome. So this was a big week for you guys with Prime Day. How did it go, and what were some takeaways?
Let's frame it a little bit. You crushed. Let me just frame this a little bit. So a long-standing client, moved them on to Facebook primarily. Deep integration, helping with other things along the way. Working with them for about 7-8 months now. Started around what was our spend when we started with them?
It was I think five figures a month to start.
Okay. And what are we spending on Facebook as of say 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago, we saw a fairly big uptick in some scale, but we were probably pacing, for 300 to 500K a month.
Cool. And then Rob. So Rob here heads up Amazon, and this is the important part. We've dabbled with this a little bit in bridging Facebook and Amazon strategies. So we'll get into the details of that, but just a really exciting week and a short implementation. Rob, when did we start Amazon, and what was the spend, and where are we at now for spend?
We started in mid-July with this client, and this month started mid-July. We hit 60,000 in rev in our second month, and 40,000 in our second month, 60 in our third, and then we broke well over 100 this month. Rev.
Cool.
So for anybody who doesn't know, because I'm not going to lie, before starting at Pilot House, I never heard of Prime Day. What is Prime Day?
Prime Day is Amazon's made-up holiday, where Amazon sellers give discounts, essentially. So think of it as another version of Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Apart from that weekend, I believe it's the biggest weekend or biggest days on Amazon. Normally it's in July. This year was a bit unique. They delayed it because of COVID. So it ran October 13th, 14th. So people were skeptical, being this close to Black Friday and the holiday shopping season, whether it would be a bigger Prime Day or people would be waiting more for the Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals. Yeah.
And I take it because it was successful, that wasn't the case, that it was, people flocked to it.
Yeah, people flocked to it. It did really well. As well as it was a really good opportunity for Amazon sellers to boost their rank as a final push before Black Friday. So if you got your listings dialed in, you can really capitalize on all that additional sales volume and really solidify your organic ranks for the coming holiday shopping season.
And so guys, sorry, Kyle.
No, well, I was going to ask how does what are the best practices? I mean, I'm sure there are many, but what are the best practices to dialing in that Amazon ranking?
First off is focus on your listing, because if you get people to an unoptimized listing that's not optimized for conversions, it's just not going to work. So, I mean, really the success of Prime Day conversions on Amazon is done beforehand. So make sure your images are dialed in, make sure your bullet points contain all your relevant keywords, but are not just jargon, so they can sell the product and contain your relevant keywords. Same with your title and your A+ content if you're brand registered, or your product description if you're not. Yeah, and then from that it moves towards PPC. So making sure for Prime Day specifically, you've got room in your budgets, you've got your max ACoS bumped up, you've got your bids adjusted in terms of the additional competition that's going to be there. Yeah.
So what does that mean for after? So it's Prime Day, right? So this happened. Our in brackets readers are going to regret that maybe they didn't make those optimizations beforehand. But we are going into Black Friday season Q4. What are the benefits now for the rest of the year and forward with the experiences you just gained?
So we weren't even on the top 100 list for our category, not even close to, and now we're in the top 30, I believe. So that just gives you an idea of the rank, and that's going to really help our organic sales. But at the same time, we've now tested a strategy that we can apply with confidence for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, or even Boxing Day. And we can make some tweaks and fix the things that maybe didn't work so well, or just run it the same because it did really well.
I'm really curious because we're in uncharted territory, especially I imagine especially in Amazon world, just because of inventory issues and people are going to be flocked. They're going to continue to flock even more to the platform. I'm curious what you've seen that's surprised you, and how you've been navigating it, and how what you're planning to do as we continue racing toward the end of Q4.
One thing we're doing is we're preparing to do FBM listings for most of our clients for their top products,
which is fulfilled by merchant.
Yes, fulfilled by merchant. Sorry. Just because with the inventory restrictions and the delays we're going to see, we don't want to sacrifice sales velocity just to not stock out. We don't want to stock out because that's going to hurt our rank. So we've talked to all our clients, and we actually did first day of Prime Day, we overshot our goals. We sold out all of our product. We switched to FBM that night, and then we had another big day the next day on purely FBM listings. So with one of our clients, we didn't have to do that because we had enough inventory, but we're getting all those listings set up and the infrastructure there for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, because it looks like we're going to be close. So.
Awesome. So key takeaway is don't just put all your eggs in Amazon's basket, essentially.
Yeah, especially if you have those inventory limits, which is really tough for holiday SKUs because they're going to limit you to 200 if it's a brand new SKU, if it's not an old one.
Got it. And you guys also, you have built like an Amazon Facebook bridge. Is that right? Could you tell us a bit about what that looks like?
Just for the record, we're coining that term. You'll see more in the future because it's incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
So the Facebook to Amazon bridge is a Pilot House product.
Yeah. So it's a collaborative process with the Facebook buying team and the client, of course. So maybe I'll let Taylor jump in and talk about Taylor or Grayson talk about sort of the deal structure with the client. But in terms of just Facebook to Amazon in the past, we typically leverage it for running discounts, running promos, or rapidly ranking products. In the past, I would use a unique discount code to track sales because Amazon doesn't allow you to place a Facebook pixel. So you have to manage for either total ROAS or track a discount code to track for that. But in terms of deal structure, I'll let the Facebook team dive into that, and then we can talk a bit about how we kind of bounce back and forth and work together on it.
Sounds good. I can jump in first, and then maybe Grayson, if you want to follow up with any of the other details as well. So it ended up being a really cool process. So for us on the Facebook buying side, we often work very closely with our clients to support the promo side of things as well, and having that collaborative process between what the promo structure looks like. So in this case, we actually did a split strategy where we had promo running on site as well to capture the conversion intent and really leverage that and take advantage of that, as well as diversify from our ads testing on Amazon, running direct to Amazon as well, where we had the Prime Day promo there. So with that, we created a full funnel diversified strategy and tested both and saw great results with both. So it meant that we had twice as many legs to scale on in that short window. Kept the collaboration tight. We were in Slack communicating with Rob and the team constantly. But it was really exciting for us because it meant that we were able to grow faster, as well as reduce any risk in picking a strategy and running with it. We were able to diversify that and create a cohesive strategy.
And thanks, Taylor. And Grace, maybe you can get into the specifics of like what that looks like on Facebook in terms of like your normal campaigns to Shopify versus spread to Amazon specifically.
For sure. So obviously, like we said, the purchase pixel won't be on the Amazon links, right? But an interesting thing we saw was the Amazon link campaigns still had Facebook purchases in them. So that's people checking out the end result and then doing shopping around and then eventually purchasing on the Shopify store. A lot of those campaigns were actually still profitable in cold prospecting for those Amazon link campaigns. So what this means is, the Facebook pixel that we're using for the account isn't getting harmed by increasing spend on campaigns that aren't converting. And it means that, there's still, like losing brand loyalty for sending traffic to Amazon. I know that's a big concern people have is losing people from going off of their Shopify store to the Amazon store and then going there instead. So yeah, by having a team by having marketing team that controls both Amazon and Facebook, you can really look at the thing holistically and run both.
Cool. Well said. And so guys, just break it down. So total spend for, just ballpark it all, but total spend for the, the build up, the lead up, the actual days on Facebook as well as Amazon. And then in addition, just talk about the breakdown of what went where and why.
Totally, yeah. So for the Amazon campaign specifically, so we did a total of about 30 grand spend over that time period. We also scaled up our evergreen content, which we built the strategy around supporting that too, and looking to gain momentum, sustainable momentum with that as well. All in all, did well over probably close to 200 grand spend, maybe more. Saw our ROAS go really high, good uptick compared to where it was before. So ended up with some record-breaking days for the client, and just awesome growth that we're still seeing carry on right now, which is exciting based on the way that the whole offer structure was built.
So you take your rev there. What was the total? Like, what percentage of traffic went to Amazon links? What percentage of traffic went to Shopify links?
Yeah, it was the majority went to Shopify links, just again, based on pixel thoughts and testing, and where the scale kind of went as we moved. But I would say the vast majority going to Shopify, but then we saw the benefits on Amazon come from that too, as well as spillover, as Grayson mentioned.
So like 15% to Amazon kind of thing?
Probably about that, yeah.
And you didn't do more because you wanted to maintain the pixel quality. You wanted to make sure that Facebook was continuing to receive conversion events while you were scaling.
Exactly, yeah.
Cool. Yeah,
and
super cool.
Managing for like a total ROAS goal as well on looking at Amazon spend and Amazon revenue per day. But on Amazon during that period, we spent about 9 grand on PPC, which is up considerably from our regular daily budgets. And that was scaling up with Prime Day traffic and additional shoppers.
Very cool. What about the ad creatives? So obviously PPCs, keyword based, do your research, optimize. Rob, if there's anything else to expand on there, go for it. But Facebook, like, what kind of ads were you running on Facebook for this event?
Yeah, Grace, do you want to jump in with that?
Sure, yeah. So we had iterations of our winners, and we kind of inserted Prime Day messaging into that. So like known creative winners that we previously iterated on and found transitioning for this campaign. And then we just found new creatives as well and just tested those, but primarily just like static images, and then pushing with Prime Day, like ad copy.
So I did look in the account. It's best winners are winning for the last, say, week or month, but then I believe you actually put the Amazon logo in the ads themselves on Facebook. Is that right?
Yeah. The Amazon logo is in like 90% of the creative we launched for this campaign.
Wow. Cool. Are we allowed to, does Facebook allow that?
It does. Yeah, it does.
Cool.
Funnily enough, Amazon, we didn't put it in we used the similar image in the Amazon listings to have that congruency. So when they hit the Amazon listing, they would see that like Prime Day discount image.
Yep.
We actually removed the Amazon logo from that because Amazon doesn't like you to use it on their website.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And just before we wrap up, is there one thing? I'd love to hear one thing from the Amazon side and one thing from the Facebook media buying side that you guys would recommend our audience take action on, this week to better prepare themselves for the Q4 race. What would you guys suggest?
Jump in from the Facebook side. I'd suggest, depending on your relationship with whether you work directly for a brand or if you work with an agency, or if you're part of an agency that works with a brand, definitely have open discussions on offer structure, knowing what's worked for you historically and how you can structure growth, not only from your promo campaigns and upcoming promos throughout the rest of Q4, but also how that fits in with your evergreen strategy. And you can leverage that momentum and see those results across the board for total account growth. That was a huge win here. And on top of the collaboration that we're going to continue to build on with the Amazon side based on this experiment.
Awesome. Actually, one thing sorry to interject there. I'm noticing this kind of bridge between, so we have it between Facebook and Amazon here. I see in the Slack channel, a lot of folks are also, there's like a Google Facebook bridge. There's sometimes a Snapchat Facebook bridge. And I'm just wondering if somebody can explain the dynamics, because what I'm sensing is that Facebook is a really optimal place for conversions to happen, but it just becomes more powerful when you feed it from these other sources. Is that accurate, or how would you describe it?
Go ahead.
I was going to say from an Amazon perspective, when you're bidding on PPC, PPC has a search volume, it's intent based, whereas Facebook, you can bid on CPMs and you can scale spend a lot more rapidly and a lot quicker. So it really allows you to take full advantage of sales days when people are primed for Prime Day. But on Amazon, you would have to rely on them to go to Amazon and search your keyword and find your product on sale. Whereas in Facebook, you can stick it in front of their face and tell them it's Prime Day, it's on sale now, go buy it. And that's really, really powerful, and it just allows you to reach more people quicker.
We have lots of terms, but basically like each traffic source needs to protect the other. We've done measurements, 20%, 25%. In the States, it's way higher now because of Amazon specifically. People just look at a product, they go look for a cheaper version of the same thing. So, 20, 25% of people actually go bounce, shop around, look for reviews, check out Amazon, come back in through search, blah, 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 blah. They may not buy, they buy through a Google link later after getting hit by retargeting. So all your traffic needs to work together, and you need all these channels to catch the opportunity, because there's a lot of people that are bidding on your stuff, that are looking at your products and your brands. And if you're not in the same place that your competition is, then you're going to lose out on that sale.
Totally. Grayson, I feel like you were gonna say a specific action that somebody should take in the next week or so.
Yeah, the big learning from this is is not to be afraid of Amazon traffic and not to include Amazon into your funnel. Even in our Amazon link campaigns, our ROAS was over 3, and that's just from being careful about what Amazon link campaigns we're scaling up, having that communication with the Amazon team and the client as to how that performance is doing on that end of things. And then people still going back to your brand. So especially in Q4, I would say don't let fear dictate your practices. Have confidence in your brand. If you have a strong brand, that people will come back for your brand and not for Amazon.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, anything else, you guys? Any other parting words of advice or anything you'd like to wrap with?
Yeah, I would just say that if you don't have an Amazon presence, I think you're losing sales, because there is a there is a particular buyer that is an Amazon buyer, and they'll see your ad on Facebook, and if they can't find it on Amazon, you lose that sale. Somebody's going to come back, but there's a certain percentage that aren't. So having that presence is really valuable. And to Grayson's point, it doesn't take away from it. And my one thing I would say, test Facebook to Amazon, give it a try. You can run a flash sale. You can run it for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. You can try launching a new product. Just tell your audience like, hey, we're live on Amazon. Give it a test. Find a way to track it, whether that's Amazon attribution or unique discount code. And you'll probably be surprised by how powerful it can be.
It's a good point, Rob. Like this idea of audiences, they're very much, especially now, more than ever. There's just a group of people that are only going to buy stuff on Amazon, and you can still get them using Facebook.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, not used to closing these things, so I got to work on that.
No worries, Kyle. You did a great job, buddy.
Well, thanks.
All right.
All right, guys.
It was a pleasure, guys. Thanks so much.
Catch you later.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.